Bam! We are live on Facebook down at the SRC, and I'm up in my office in the Eielson building across the Fairbanks campus. We have ironed out the issues happening with our Facebook Live presentation software. Hello, Mark.
Hi, Andrew. How are you?
I am doing great. How about yourself today?
We're wonderful, wonderful. Enjoying the sunrise and warmer weather down here.
You guys got lots of windows down there. Before we start looking inside the SRC, let's talk a little bit about what's outside the Student Rec Center, which are solar panels.
Oh. Correct. Yeah, there's a few solar panels on the side of the building that feed back to the university grid. They don't directly power the SRC necessarily, but yeah.
But they help. They add to the energy being created and used by the university itself, which is a considerable amount.
Exactly. Yeah.
So if someone is in a research lab thinking, why I never go to the athletic club down there, what's the point? The point is it's helping to keep your samples cold in your freezer.
That's you're grasping at straws, but I'll
It's the little things. Okay, so you want to talk a little bit. So Nanic Recreation, that's a relatively new organization for the things that are happening for student life on campus.
Right, we rebranded maybe about 6 years ago under Chancellor Rogers and Mike Schraga, Vice Chancellor. They formed the Department of Recreation, Adventure, and Wellness and took all these student recreation opportunities and put them into one department versus previously they were siloed out into several different organizations around campus. And that was intentional to make a direct effort towards improving the student recreation experience outside of the classroom, bringing outdoor adventures, SRC, ice rink, pool, building the ice tower, building what was the Hulbert Nanic Terrain Park, and bring that together. Now, in this last year, we rebranded that name just to Nanic Recreation. While DRAW was a good acronym, and everybody likes a good acronym, it didn't explain itself well. So Nanic Recreation is our attempt to have kind of a tip of the hat to athletics and the university's mascot, as well as clearly say recreation is what we're really all about.
And the Student Rec Center, which is sort of the heart of Nanic Recreation, is a building. When was it finished? In the early 2000s?
Early 90s.
Early 90s.
1992 was groundbreaking. Maybe about 93 was doors opening. And it was built by a student fee. The student said, yes, we want this, we'll pay for it. And they built it. Now it's 25 years old. And there is still a student fee to gain access. So students have that opportunity. They have a gym membership built into their fees, so they have access to this, as well as we are open to anybody, faculty, staff, alumni, and public. There's a pricing structure to go with that. But really the students said we want it. Because previously we were in the Patty Center, and if you walk around the Patty Center now, you'll see different black lines on the aisles or the hallways, and that was the track. You would run the Patty Center up and down the stairs and around the offices. One passing and one lane was running.
But you could still do that OG running track in their Patty Center if you really want to.
You could do that. You'll get some strange looks, but the athletes still have to do something. There's a couple offices that have monkey bars in the ceiling, so you could get after that too.
So you could hang and you could do some pull-ups right there in your office.
Exactly.
But I also know that the SRC, over the past 25 years of it being around, several times it's been upgraded, added an indoor climbing wall and stuff in there, constantly renovating it, constantly making it really, really relevant to new advances in fitness technology. I know you have a VR treadmill in there. I've also read all sorts of stuff. So show us around what's going on inside. Show us the SRC.
Yeah, so we're gonna do a little quick tour of the SRC, and we'll see how we're doing on time. Might run through the rink and the pool. The first,
are you gonna go like that, or are you gonna go swimming just like that?
Just like that. Yep.
Okay, great. Okay, go ahead. Keep us going. Go ahead, Mark.
That's good. So when folks come in, they can set up here at membership services. And Sunny is out doing something right now, but you can swipe in. Again, this is where you can also purchase your memberships, make a court reservation, pick up a basketball, etc. And you'll be able to.
What kind of courts you got in there? Is it just basketball courts? You have indoor football fields?
We'll get there.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'm just excited. Okay, go ahead.
Well, it's visual, very visual. So we've got our equipment here. You can borrow climbing shoes and climbing harnesses if you don't have that technical equipment. Danielle's going to follow me down. today, or right now, what we have is one of our academic classes happening, the rock climbing classes. And you talked about the upgrades that we've done. Maybe we'll hang here. When I first moved up here in 2006, the climbing wall was strictly a cinder block wall, just plain flat cinder block wall with holes screwed on. And then a couple years afterwards, we added this shell to it to give it a little bit more texture and some more dynamic movements. And then even years later, we're gonna bust a new class. You're good. Yep, keep going.
Too loud.
We added this bouldering wall. A couple of students had built it for a number of years, but recently we've doubled it in size. And then even just this Thanksgiving, we added this padded floor. And then finally, the next upgrade that we've done, you can see these 3 blue triangles, and those are what are called auto belays, so that folks can do the full climb the entire wall without having a partner that they have to belay with. So they can clip in and climb up, and no matter where they fall, the device will catch them and slowly lower them to the ground. And so you could do 5-6 laps and get a really good workout in and not have to stress out a belayer that is sitting there watching you the whole time. So we've had a lot of positive feedback for that. This is one of the academic classes. You can get academic credit with some of the different outdoor adventure classes and recreation classes. Andy's one of our instructors for climbing. Christian teaches another rock climbing class as well as an outdoor ice climbing class. He uses this facility. There's lots of classes that happen just right in the climbing wall itself.
So
you're asking
Mark, real quick,
yeah.
Mark, how do you teach rock climbing? Like, do you just say this is where you grab, or is it more of a philosophy of how do you look, or is it just there's the wall, climb up, and if you fall down, you failed the test?
So not quite like that, no. We teach the climbing classes, really the goal is so that folks could take the skills that they learn in the class and go outside. So in the artificial wall, they can certainly build up strength and learn some climbing techniques to be more efficient in their, saving their energy and using their body to the best of their ability in terms of balance, etc. But also they're learning a lot of anchors, ropes, knots, all those types of systems so that they can go outside and do it where it's certainly less artificial. So they can build an appropriate anchor, be able to lower off of that anchor down to the bottom of the cliff, climb all day, climb back up, break down the anchor, rappel off. There's multiple different climbing techniques, the ways to get to the top. You can't always hike to the top. Sometimes you've got to lead from the bottom. So we teach all those different skill sets. And there's different levels. There's an introduction to rock climbing class, an intermediate, and then we have also taught advanced climbing, and then the outdoor climbing aspect of it as well.
I imagine it also develops a great sense of confidence and accomplishment that you can climb a rock face.
Yes, absolutely. It certainly does that. And I really encourage the students to take a rec class, no matter whether it's climbing or ultimate frisbee, just as a constructive way to break up your day. You're required to come down to the gym, get some physical exercise, distract yourself from the chemistry class or the communications class.
Fire things up. Do you teach free climbing? Because I know there's lots of that sort of the thing to do, like no ropes, just here's a mountain.
We are not supportive of free climbing. We do bouldering up to 12 feet, which essentially is free climbing. But after that, we would highly encourage a rope. If you want to free climb, go hang out in Yosemite for a summer maybe. But
not here. Okay, thank you, Mark. Keep on going. What else you got? You got a lot. There's so much going on. It's exciting. Okay. Oh, LA dunk tank. What was that? A basketball? Look at that. Look at that fancy new. Okay, that's okay. I'm sure Mark will let us know what's going on in here. Oh, here we are.
So over the Christmas holiday break, we shut down for a month. We're really sad about that, but we're glad that we did it in the sense that we replaced our entire floor system. So downstairs, we ripped everything up down to the concrete and put in an entirely new court. And the court is quite a bit softer if you're familiar with what we had before. So it's saving a lot of knees and things. So much softer for folks that are doing sports like volleyball and basketball where they're jumping a lot. And then it's also got a different texture on the finish. So for folks that are like this gentleman playing tennis, the ball has a better grip, and they're getting a lot of positive feedback about that. Last year, maybe 2 years ago now, we became the only indoor tennis court in Fairbanks by accident as the Alaska Club closed down their tennis courts. We put in a trampoline park. So we have the tennis court here, but during the construction, we added lines on court 3 as well, so folks can play tennis over there. It's a little more of a constricted court because of the hoops, but a lot of people practice their short game over there.
Are they making up new games, tennis, basket tennis, where you have to use your tennis racket, ball in the basketball hoop?
No, but we do play, folks come in and they play essentially a game of volleyball. They're using more of a beach ball and a tennis net. And then we've either folks playing badminton yesterday over a tennis net just to have fun. There's actually a pickleball team in the back, and then badminton happening over the tennis net.
So you said there was a new surface. Is it a special technology that's the new surface? Is it a special recreation or athletic material that they use to put on there?
It's a specific multi-purpose court. It's designed for exactly what we're using it for. It's Robbins Plastic. It's a little bit thicker, quite a bit more compression than we've had in the past. But it's specifically for these indoor recreation multi-purpose facilities.
Awesome.
The track is quite a bit different than that specific court. We've also added, here we had badminton lines, and pickleball has grown a tremendous amount in the last couple of years. So we added pickleball lines, specifically pickleball to the middle court. This one has badminton lines. They're very close to each other, pickleball and badminton. So they can go back and forth.
But pickleball is not an Olympic sport yet, where badminton is. Pickleball is not the Olympics yet.
I don't think so. I think you're right. It's not in the Olympics yet.
But badminton is in the Olympics.
I'm going to try and turn up the volume a little bit.
Oh, okay.
We've got our air handling system running, so it's a little harder to hear right now. The other thing, if you want to, Danielle kind of goes to the paw prints here, we're going to head back to Outdoor Adventures.
Danielle, those are not made by an actual bear, were they?
No, they were not.
Okay.
Outdoor Adventures this way.
Here we go.
So Outdoor Adventures has had a few different homes in the last couple of years. For years, it was in the Wood Center. It was founded as part of the Wood Center, and then they had a temporary home on the Copper Lane homes. And in the last couple of years, they moved down here to the Student Recreation Center, where the Nanook ski and running team used to be. Now that all the teams are together in Patty Center. So a lot of folks don't know that Outdoor Adventures is kind of back here under the stairs. So really try to draw a little bit of attention to that with the paw prints, make it easier to access. There is also another exterior door. They can park down by the sledding hill in the yurt and the ice tower and come right in there to check out Outdoor Adventures.
Now, before you go on with that, Outdoor Adventures I think it's one of the most exciting things about Nanook Recreation, because not only is it organized expeditions, but you can also rent material from there to sort of, if you want to go out on your own.
We don't have any gear here.
There's no, what's all that? What is all that? Oh, Mark, I think you're mistaken.
I'm being sarcastic. So yeah, you're absolutely right. So there's really, we can pan over to Frank Olive, who's our assistant coordinator of Outdoor Adventures for education and teaches a lot of the classes. And we have the rental program, certainly, so folks that know what they're doing and want to just get out on their own and didn't bring up their piece of expensive equipment or weren't prepared for a true winter camping experience. They're comparing it to Florida winter camping. They needed some different gear. And so we can rent to them. And then folks that need maybe a little bit more or want a little bit more instruction or want to have meet some new folks, they can join us on a trip. And then finally, if they really want to invest in an activity and learn it, we've got the recreation classes that we talked about. The climbing classes there, but also Frank is teaching. What do you got on this semester?
Introduction to Mountaineering course I'm teaching this semester, and also as we roll into summer, later in the semester, I'm teaching an Introduction to Wilderness Leadership and an Advanced Wilderness Leadership course where we go out on an expedition and learn about all the various components of that expedition, including the soft skills, the hard skills, and everything else included in that.
Can you teach me how to set up a tent or a sleeping arrangement on the side of a mountain?
Absolutely.
What?
We do that regularly.
That, yes.
The person behind the camera here is taking the course, and we're going to be heading out and doing that, setting up our camps, and then hopefully having a chance to climb some of the peaks down in the Alaska range.
Is that a peaceful way to sleep, hanging off the side of a mountain?
Well, we're not necessarily hanging. We're more making a tent platform, making a wind wall around it, and setting up our tent there. We're not necessarily doing a full portaledge experience during the introduction course.
I think that's actually fascinating. There's all sorts of levels of how you experience climbing a mountain or any mountaineering stuff like that. There's just hiking up a gentle slope, and then there is the belaying and the mountain climbing that way. So there's all these amazingly varied ways to interact with the world around us.
Totally.
I think one thing that's unique to our classes compared to some folks in the lower 48 is that Frank's classes are regularly traveling on glacial terrain. So we're driving down to the deltas, and out of the gates we're on a glacier. So he's teaching a lot of rope to travel on the glaciers, crevasse rescue, the avalanche skills that go along with that as well. So
yeah.
That's amazing.
And like we were saying, people have different goals and objectives. Some of the folks in my class want the basic skills so they can go ski stuff. Some of the folks want the basic skills so they can take those and build upon them and climb Denali. Some people want to take those basic skills and then hang on the side of cliffs for multi-day alpinist ascents of those extreme peaks and whatnot.
But studying with you can give the fundamentals to do all of those things.
It's the basis for all of those. Like Mark was saying, the glacier travel, the crevasse rescue skills, avalanche, basic rope travel, climbing techniques, winter camping, and all of those things, which are the basis for all of those different activities. And then the students decide kind of where they want to take it after they gain those skills.
While you're there at your desk, are you planning your next expedition in your mind? Or you're like, I could climb on this desk right here, and then I could get a rope up here at the roof, and Mark won't notice if I'm just swinging around.
The next expedition's always on my mind, for sure.
Awesome.
We're in the midst of like planning our entire fall right now, so we're that far ahead as far as what's next.
Excellent.
a couple of things that happen at Outdoor Adventures, Andrew, is that we have the wilderness orientation. So for any new students that might be watching, they could come up the week before school starts and head out with other students in their peer group of incoming students, as well as our student leaders, and go on a multi-day expedition before school starts. They move into their dorm a little bit early, and then go spend 4 days in a tent with other students. And
that's one of the best things for people who are coming to Alaska from the lower 48 or from wherever they're coming to, because no matter what state you're coming from, Alaska has sort of a unique experience for people to get out there. And what better way to meet the state where you're going to be studying than the wilderness or orientation adventure thing.
Exactly. And then finally, we have a lot of student jobs, both in Outdoor Ventures as well as the entire recreation program. We've got students that strictly focus on the climbing walls. Frank's got students that are doing trips and running the rental shop. We've got Zamboni drivers and lifeguards and personal fitness trainers. So it's lots of student employment.
He's a Zamboni driver. That's what everybody wants to know now.
I know.
Okay, all right. Don't reveal your secrets. Got it. You got to get in on the action. Okay. Thank you, Frank.
Thanks, Frank.
Yeah.
Some skis.
Snowshoes, skis. Which is your favorite?
Skis is a good thing, good opportunity, good bridgeway. You can come out maybe a little lighter out here. to our ski land program is that any student with the SRCP also gets a season's pass to ski land, which is a local ski area about 40 minutes north of town. There's a free shuttle from campus every weekend day up there. So folks can sign up for the shuttle, get a free ride up to the mountains, ski there all day, get a shuttle ride back. Additionally, the season's pass is valid at the Aurora viewing too. You can go up to ski land and hang out there all night, use their free Wi-Fi, do your homework, and then go for a walk when the Aurora pops out.
That's a great overnighter. What a unique overnighter for a student for final exam time is to go. Well, I guess by that time the Aurora is not. So midterms.
Yeah, midterms, exactly. Spring break maybe is a good option to get out there, and you can check out the Aurora, but essentially sit out in a warm hut waiting for it to come out versus in your car or sitting in the snow. We're gonna head upstairs now.
Okay. Have you done that, Daniel? Have you gone out to watch the Aurora out there?
I have not. I've been out there for a lot of other things, but not the Aurora.
Do you snowboard? Do you ski? Or do you like paraski, like with the parachute on the back of your skis? Do you do that stuff?
Oh gosh, I'm not that good. I do enjoy skiing though.
So this is our cardio area of the Student Recreation Center. Just to highlight a few things, we've got the step mills here. We've added 3 of those over the last year or so. Then we have some of our treadmills and various design models, and our newer ones are all tricked out with different options. You can get in there and open up your Hulu app or your Netflix app. You can run the Grand Canyon Trail, or on the step mills you can climb a pyramid in Egypt.
Wow! So I could binge The Good Place, and I could be doing an old running around in Egypt. Is what you're saying?
Exactly. So I find I go on and run the treadmill, and I turn on a trail because I like to just look at some pretty trees and some scenic views while I'm running, and it's so vivid for me. I start dodging rocks and the other things in the trail, so I'm not just methodically running on the treadmill.
Woo! So it's a psychological workout as well as a physical workout.
For sure, it distracts you from your... These are the AMTs, which are essentially a treadmill, a step mill, and an elliptical built into one, and it forces you to think, engage a little bit more stability and think about what you're doing in terms of your strides versus a treadmill and a step mill. It's a mill, right? You're just churning along. This is a little bit more engaging and requires you to pay a bit more attention to your stride. We're going to head over to the corner now and check out 2 of our new pieces with Chris McCoon.
When I'm on the treadmill, sometimes if I get distracted, I find myself drifting to the back of the track, and I'm like, I'm about to fall off this thing.
Yeah, well, got to pick up the pace. So this is Chris McCoon. She's our assistant director for wellness. So she coordinates our group fitness classes, personal training, helps us pick the best equipment. She's going to be teaching some online classes here in the future, as well as coordinating summer programs for sport-specific performance athletes that maybe high school students that are looking to get bigger, faster, stronger for football, hockey, soccer, etc. She's got a wealth of experience from her days as a D1 strength coach, and we're lucky to have her. She's going to highlight our Woodway curve treadmills, and then this new matrix as well.
Okay, as Mark said, we have 2 Woodway curves, and then we have a matrix sled mill. The curves do not have, actually all 3 do not have motors to run the belt, so they're non-motorized. You produce the force to move the belt, and you're actually moving the speed and adjusting the speed based on your running speed. Essentially, with a motorized treadmill, when your foot hits the belt, it pulls your foot back and it does the work for you, whereas with these, when your foot hits the belt, you're actually producing force to drive the belt back. Very similar to when you run on dry land, you have to drive the ground behind you and produce force. So it's a little more mechanically similar to running outside. So the transition, if you're running indoors during the winter and going outdoors during the summer, transition's a little bit easier. Also, because of that curved form, that upward momentum, it's causing your foot to strike in the mid-foot, which is more proper running form, whereas if you watch someone who's using a treadmill that's motorized, they're more likely to strike out in front of them on the heel because that belt is going to pull their leg back. So it tends to help with running form, running technique, and also mimics running on dry land a little bit better. The sled mill, on the other hand, is actually a resistance treadmill, so it produces more resistance against your foot. So you can grab onto the handles in the front and disconnect the belt and push it as if it were a sled, or you can run on it with your hips against the belt and sprint, just like you're sprinting up a hill or sprinting with a parachute behind you. And we have these levers that will increase the resistance. And you can increase the resistance to the point where I can't even move the belt, or you can keep it pretty low and just slight resistance like running up a hill.
That sounds so hardcore. I mean, is that, if you were given a choice, would you choose one of these machines or a motorized treadmill, Chris? Which do you prefer?
I'm an outdoor runner, so I would choose one of these because I would be more likely to do intervals. It's easier to do intervals on here, whereas with a motorized, you have to wait for the display to catch up to what you want to do.
That is, and so pushing the sled, like, how does that help? Like a full body workout more than just your legs? Is it more comprehensive?
Well, it's primarily your legs. If you're holding on to the handles in the front, you have to distribute force through your core to your arms. But so those muscles are working isometrically, but concentrically with the muscles shortening, it's going to be all legs.
So this is a great opportunity for students. What would you recommend? What's the goal of people who use these machines?
Well, if you're doing speed training, this would be utilized for that. It also, a lot of weightlifters will use it for conditioning. If you are a younger athlete, so let's say a high school football player, you might use it for conditioning. If you're someone who just still trains like an athlete, then you're going to use it for leg strengthening, anaerobic endurance, and then also sprint mechanics. So if you're into road racing, you might want to get a little bit faster on the hills. So this is a good way to do it.
Do you just dive right in with those, or should you go on a motorized treadmill, get your strength up a little bit, and then move over to these?
Well, a motorized treadmill is not going to increase your strength. You might want to start with just running on flat land first, and then move on to this.
Which is why we have this wonderful stripes track behind us.
Oh, well, there you go. How convenient.
Controlled environment, and get your run in here, not on a treadmill, and get a little bit of a different feel.
But,
a lot of people are. Go ahead.
It's not like you go around to club members and someone's on a motorized treadmill. You don't walk up to them and be like, you know what you really want? You want to go over there and you want to start using that equipment. People can use the stuff that they want to use that they're comfortable with.
Totally. Yeah. We do not direct people into specific pieces of equipment, but we certainly want to make it all available to them. And then through Chris's classes, there's different opportunities to learn about the different opportunities within the building.
So Chris, are you excited for the opportunity for students here at the University of Alaska Fairbanks to use this sort of technology? Is this unusual for students to have on their campus?
It's kind of the trend that you're seeing on campuses. We're moving just generally in fitness settings to more functional movements, and gamifying exercise is definitely the future of exercise because it entices people that don't normally exercise. But yeah, for this particular school, we've given them much more opportunity and variety than what was here maybe a year ago. And the more variety you get in the patrons.
Absolutely. And congratulations. What a great resource to have you here on our campus to take exercise and fitness to the next level.
And we'll see Chris in a few minutes down in the weight room too.
Oh,
we're gonna peek out the window here. When we're down at Outdoor Adventures, we failed to mention the climbing tower, and so you can see from the back door here, the back of the wall. That's our ice climbing tower that we built in 2012-ish. It's about a 30-foot ice wall. It's essentially a construction of telephone poles. But Christian, with the climbing program, spends a great amount of time spraying it down, icing it down to create an ice wall right here on campus.
And it's great. I mean, I know that it's not just people that go out there. It's also an event. You use it for like winter carnival and stuff like that. Get people out there. So it's really part of the student experience is to go climb the ice wall.
Exactly. Yeah. So we check out we've got regular nights, so you can go out there anytime and just work on your performance if you're an ice climber, or you can just go out to try it and not have to drive all the way down to Denali. Additionally, we do some competitions and just open house events to make it a little bit more variety. We're going to continue down the check out some other things. So go ahead, Andrew.
I said you can rent the ice wall for a party.
Sure. Yeah. We also work with the Army programs, whether it's ROTC or Fort Wainwright, and they use it for their cold weather training exercise. So we're just going to head down the
track. Don't just walk.
Go ahead.
Let's see you running. Do some jogging out there on that track.
It's just going to bounce up and down.
That's real life.
You're going to make sure that you follow instructions, walk fast, run. But this track it's a different material than it used to be, if folks are familiar. It's called the Mondo Superflex, and it's the same track that's used in the indoor Olympics. So it's a really high quality track. It's got a lot of texture. A lot of people think it's carpet, but it is a rubber material. And we're diligently cleaning that. We got a special floor cleaner for it.
Is that a student job? Up on the track, get up there and swab the deck.
That is not a student job. We keep them on the Zamboni.
Oh, look at that. Danielle, do you do the rock climbing as well?
Yes.
That looks fun.
So we're going to head into the group fitness studio, Andrew.
Okay. Ooh. This is where the Zumba happens?
So this is our group fitness studio, and if there's some older alumni here looking back on this video, they would think that this room didn't have walls before, and that's absolutely right. It was open to the court. So we put some walls up around this, again, around 2012 or so, to create a little bit more of a private experience so that yoga and basketball could coexist in the building and not really impact each other. Things that happen here, we've got lots of group fitness classes that we teach, as well as the recreation classes with CTC. Over here is Eric, is one of our graduate assistants. Danielle, who's holding the camera, is our other graduate assistant. Eric is a geology student, right? Yep. So he's working on his thesis in geology right now, but his day job is to coordinate the intramural programs. He spends a fair amount of time in the weight room, but it's going to highlight our fitness on demand program that we have today. So for me, group fitness classes are great. I like to have somebody yell at me to do an extra couple push-ups, but being able to get there right at 5:30 is harder for me, given kids and family, etc. Got to walk the dog. So our fitness on demand option is to essentially serve that population that maybe has a hard time getting to a specific class at a specific time. So,
fitness on demand. Is that like Netflix for fitness?
Yeah,
Yes.
Exactly, yes.
So you have two options.
Hi, Eric.
Hi, Danielle, and camera.
Andrew.
Hello.
Your first option is if you're alone in it, you can use this tablet, and you have all these classes to choose from. So I guess, Danielle, which one should we pick? RIP 26 Express?
Meditative breathing.
Is that on here? I haven't looked through all of them. We have a lot.
Costa Brava, Spain.
So let's try this one. Piloxing Extreme Calorie Crusher.
Okay.
So you select it. You can read a description of it. It tells you how long it is, the difficulty. So this one's 53 minutes long. It's medium. And the goals are going to be developing mind and body, strength, I guess, new stuff. And then it's going to tell you about how many calories you'll burn. And then you come up, press the play button, and this will pop up on the master TV.
I'm Vivica Jensen, and I am so excited that you have committed to the Veloxing system. I have transformed some of the hottest bodies in Hollywood, and now it's your turn. I will be there with you.
So yeah,
I'm ready to start here at my desk.
There's something about 400 or so classes that you can select there. And then there's another option. So if this room is occupied with a martial arts class, it might be a little awkward to come in here and do whatever that word, piloxing.
Piloxing, extreme calorie crushing.
Exactly, the calorie crushing.
A lot of bodies in Hollywood, Mark.
So there's another option here. Eric's got another option.
Yeah, so you can download the Fitness on Demand app on your phone or device, and you make an account, and you have to turn on your location. And then it'll say at the top, you're at University of Alaska Fairbanks. So as long as you're in the facility, you can use this class. And you click on the See All, just like on the tablet, and then you can stream a class to your phone. So we can do hardcore yoga flow with Ali Brashler. I thought that was an I. And then you can either stream it to the Master TV or you can play it on your phone.
And then you can set it up. You can do it wherever you want.
Right. In the facility.
Within our facility. You unfortunately can't.
So you've got the subscription to this service, and then as long as it's geo-tagged, you're in the right place, you can access it from anywhere in the SRC that you want.
Pretty much. I think there's probably a couple of dead spots in the corners. And so we'll head out to where you can probably use that. Thanks, Eric. Was there something else that I missed?
Before you leave, Eric, I just want to check in with you real quick, because it sounds like that you are a scientist and a fitness proponent. How does working out in the SRC and being more fit, does it help with your field work? Like when you're out there doing geology, do you have more, can you last longer in the field?
It definitely helps because usually if I go out there, it's with professors and they make you carry all their stuff.
I can see where training would come in handy for that, both mental training and physical training.
Right. So
thanks for taking a few minutes, Eric. Thanks for showing us around and there. That's great. Let you get back to. Are you going to choose one of those workouts right now to do when we leave?
Oh, I'm gonna do a more relaxing yoga class.
He wants the Hollywood body.
Yeah.
Thanks, Eric.
No problem.
So
Danielle, you do some of that stuff too, Danielle?
Yes, I actually did it last Tuesday.
Nice. Hello, I am the fitness trainer for the stars, and now I can do you, member of Nanook Nation, here in the Student Recreation Center. Here we go. Come on, stick with it. We're so close. Okay.
Another corner that we replaced the flooring in here. It's quite a bit softer. We've got some mats over in the corner that folks can use, and that's a great spot to. I was just talking about if you bring in your own tablet or even just your phone.
They'll come back.
So you can check out these goggles downstairs from the front desk, and you can be on the recumbent bike, set your resistance, and then Danielle can pan over to the screen and see what he's doing. So he chose the race car activity, and so he's waiting for the lights to go green, and now he's racing. So he's seeing three-dimensional in it through his eyes, and then he's got to lean his body left and right. And then he's got a trigger on his handle there that he can engage the nitro boost or something if he chases over a diamond. And truthfully, if you look closely as he turns there, he's actually a dog in the window. He's a dog driving an F1, I think it's an F1 race car.
That is
Formula. So the other
you could in our world.
Say, what's that, Andrew?
Can you race in space?
I don't know if what you're asking, but what actually you can do is race other universities. Other universities that have a system, you can enter into a multiplayer game. We could have the University of Alaska versus the University of Michigan in the tank game and play a month-long tournament together. And the app certainly has those tournaments built in, so we'll start to engage those. We have a second system that we'll be rolling out soon that will be on an upright bike. And then, so now he's joining a different activity, and he's going to fly a unicorn around the forest and capture diamonds.
What?
This one is much more intense VR, so there's 3 different levels. There's the red, that's the intense of flying and diving, and if he, so you'll see him kind of undulate up and down, and he's trying to find things. Or you can have a low-key VR experience and paddle a kayak, be a panda in a kayak chasing ducks around a pond. And truthfully, I'll be honest, I love it and use it because I'll be playing a game and before I know it, 20 minutes have gone by and I've been pedaling pretty hard the whole time.
And I think Chris mentioned when we spoke with her that the gamification of fitness is the future, and that is definitely what this is.
Thanks, Joseph.
100%. Yeah, we're totally playing to what the students want. Their esports is huge around the nation and campus, and this is trying to bridge that gap of the esports and the fitness, and this is right in the middle of doing both at the same time. There's the School of Management is doing some research, I believe, out in Northwest Campus with this exact system. So there's students that are out there that can use that, and they're basing their fitness and their GPA to see if there's an increase in academic performance.
Oh, data shows so many things. That's incredible. Danielle, have you flown the unicorn?
I have not yet.
What? You got to sneak in there after hours. And
I know.
Just another quick one piece here. We've added this hand bike recently, and so folks could, if they happen to be in a wheelchair, they can roll their wheelchair up here and do a workout. So they can get some cardio exercise, or there's one with a seat if folks are, maybe they're just a little bit have less functioning in the legs if they don't want to get on a treadmill or a bike, that they can over here sit down and get a cardio workout through their upper body.
Accessibility is such a huge thing, not only online but in person. So that's great. Is it also like for people who are deaf or hard of hearing? Are there accessibility things for them, or for people who are blind or visually impaired? So people to make sure that they can get to the right pieces of equipment that they want to use?
We have some room to grow there, and it's great that you brought that up. We just set up an appointment with the design and construction team to come in. They have a Braille printer, so we can type out some of the instructions and we're going to put a number of Braille stickers around the facility so folks can get a little bit more acclimatized to what we have available to them. In addition to, if there's a student or a member that really wants to do that and they just need a little bit of help and guidance to get going, really just ask us at the front desk and we can work with them and whatever their needs are.
Awesome.
It froze.
Oh.
Yeah, it did, but we can still hear you.
Okay. We're gonna hope
just in one of those corners that you talked about. Where are you taking us next?
We're still frozen, but we're gonna go downstairs to the weight room.
Yeah, I'll just put it on me. Well, oh, there you are back again. So let's flip it around. Oh, I saw Danielle there for a second.
Okay. Wait, what's going on?
Okay, we're back.
All right, so we're gonna head down to the weight room and catch up with Chris again.
Okay. That Christy's she's all over.
Yes, she is.
Where'd she come from, Danielle?
She came from New England, Boston.
Oh. Because Alaska's the place to be. Forget that lower 48 stuff. All right. Who's this? It's Chris.
So again, with the new student recreation fee that happened a year or so ago, we're playing catch up on a lot of equipment, so we've done a significant overhaul in the weight room to add capacity and functionality so that folks could do same exercise in multiple different spots, or we could have a class in here and not isolate the members out of the weight room. Now that we have all of this, we've increased our classes, and there's a lot more access to folks. And so Chris is going to talk about what we've added, what's going on here.
Okay, we added 8 total quad racks, which are just kind of a very basic rack with good stability so they can handle larger loads. So whether you're lifting just the bar or you're lifting 800 pounds, these racks have a lot of stability. They're not going to torque and now become a danger. They're also significantly more adjustable. So we've got a combination of the flat fail bars or safety bars, and then we have these straps. They both have the same weight capacity, but the difference is the heavier lifters can use the straps, not bend the bars that we have. You've got adjustable benches, and we also have the decline bench. So now you can do either a seated military press, or you can do a flat bench or an incline bench as we have set up down there. So you have a lot more adjustability. We also have the option, if you look over at this rack, where you can use the front of the rack and the back of the rack. So if someone wants to superset their exercises, they can actually set up the front side for one exercise, the back side for another, and they're not taking 2 stations away from the facility, but they still can do 2 different exercises. We moved into the bumper plates mainly so that we could also offer Olympic lifting. We had a lot of students who were deadlifting, so we wanted to give them those options without beating up the facility. We have these deadlift specific platforms. One, it gives the lifter a certain amount of space that they are going to utilize and keeps people out of their way and potentially getting hurt, but it's also an option that you can attach bands. So I can attach a band here and there over the barbell and do what's called accommodating resistance. So as you pick up the bar, the load becomes heavier, and it definitely accentuates gains in terms of weight movement. We split the dumbbells on 2 sides, so that way you could bring dumbbells to your workstation. And that way, same thing, you're not utilizing a lot of floor space, but you can do 2 or 3 exercises at the same time. You can rotate those for the people who are looking for more of an endurance effect. We maintain the cable row machine, so people don't necessarily have to go upstairs to be able to do some rowing activities that are not barbell based. And then we added 4 half racks, which are helpful specifically for taller lifters if they want to do overhead lifts, because they also have safety standards with them also. And then in front of them are Olympic lifting platforms with the wood base, and that's mainly for the Olympic lifts. The reason we do the wood base is an Olympic lifter needs to be able to shuffle their feet out. There's a lot of downward force, and if the foot sticks too much, you get a really high coefficient of friction, and then the foot's stuck, but the femur's still moving, so it can really beat up the knees. Whereas if you have wood, there's a little bit of a give and a little bit of a slide, which absorbs some of that force. And we're starting to put inserts in for those lifters who want to be able to superset a clean with a jerk but have the safety of the rack.
Was this sort of a dream come true for you, Chris, to be able to help reorganize this weight room in a way that you would like to see it done?
This is my 4th facility redoing, so it was more like
With old hat.
More chaos and planning that I've done before, and you always sort of grit your teeth, but at the same point, it's nice to be able to offer it to a population.
So I think one of the purposes of doing this video, Andrew, is that we've done a lot of changes, and some folks are definitely resistant to change. They've found a routine in their gym, and they're happy with that, and we've maybe moved equipment around or potentially removed some of their equipment, but also we've done it very intentionally with a very specific purpose that most people understand when they're have that explained to them, and hopefully with some of these videos they'll learn that this isn't just a bunch of squat racks, which is a comment I hear, but there's a lot of functionality in each of the racks. It does take maybe a little bit of an extra learning curve to understand how to set up the rack the way that you want it.
Definitely
Like anything, I mean, developing and evolving means taking into account what's worked and what hasn't worked in the past and what you would like to work in the future.
Exactly, yeah. We're much more versatile and functional going forward. Additionally, though, if you're partial to the equipment that was here, we have saved a portion of it, and it is still upstairs around the track. So I know we have some other students from the way back when that are bummed that we moved some of that equipment, but they do need to know that a lot of it is still upstairs. So now we're going to take a quick run over to the rink and the pool, if we've got time. Are we doing okay, Andrew?
Yeah, you keep showing us around.
All right.
Thanks, Chris.
Chris, do you even lift, Chris? Can we see Chris do some deadlifting? Oh, okay. Missed our
Oh,
chance.
she's gone. Chris does lift.
Yes.
I bet she does.
She's a strong lady.
I want to see Daniel push Mark in the pool. Don't really do that. That's mean.
I won't. He's my boss.
That's true. So the building where we just were is connected over to the Patty Center. Go ahead.
Exactly. So right next door to the SRC is the Patty Ice Arena. And folks that do get a membership at the SRC, they have access to the rink for recreational skate, the stick and puck, the figure skating. So if they're into skating, they've got access to that opportunity as well. They don't get full sheets of ice for private rentals. That is an extra fee, but they could participate in the different. So students could come down during rec skate, get a pair of skates, and have a good time.
And it's cool in the summer, and it warms you up in the winter.
Exactly. It's another great temperature-controlled environment. You see a lot of equipment around. Oh, go ahead. Yeah, there's.
So shiny. Uh-oh. More connectivity connections down there. And there's, yeah, it's hard sometimes in the Patty Center to connect as we go through the boundary here. We'll see if it gets cut up or if we get cut off. Just be a little, oh, whatever it's, oh. I'm monitoring the other screen, you guys, as we're finding out what's happening down there in the Patty Center. Or you could just head down to the Patty Center right now. You could probably find them because they're down there right now. Are they going to come back? I'll give it a few minutes or a few seconds, I guess. And if not, then we'll just do a part 2 later on when they can show me that stuff. But look at that. It's pretty in there. Okay, we might call it all right. So I'm going to say, all right, so I'm going to stop here because we got a great stuff going on. And if we want, we can try to catch up with Mark later on to talk about stuff that goes on in the Patty rink and the Patty pool, which are there connected to the Student Rec Center down there on the Fairbanks campus. But it does not look like we are getting that connection back in there. All right. So thanks. I hope that you guys have enjoyed some of this tour, learned a little bit about stuff that's happening down there at the SRC and the changes that they're making to improve fitness facilities for students here on the Fairbanks campus. All right. Thanks to Mark and his team for showing us around down there. It's exciting. And we'll talk to you later. Bye.